Hobby family, I saw a news story and then a reaction to that news story that really bothered me and disappointed me from some people that are in the hobby community. We'll talk about it. What's going on, sports card hobby friends? It is another day. It is another hobby video. This one's going to be a little bit of a twisty and a turny, so hang with me. Twisty and a turny. It's got some twists and turns. There's a story that popped up here recently that I thought was interesting, and then I saw reactions on the internet to that story, which I guess I shouldn't really have been surprised about, but it's just like, what sort of a world are a lot of these folks living in? And we'll talk through it. Before I dive in, huge thanks to today's video sponsor, COMC.com. 40 plus million cards in the database. Baseball, football, basketball, the easiest place on planet Earth to buy and sell sports cards and non-sports cards. You can grade cards through COMC. You can shoot them off through eBay to auction. All sorts of different options on COMC, so make sure to check it out. I've got links down below. Also, if you've never subbed with PSA, here's your chance, $25 off your first submission. One card minimum, guys. Only one card minimum. Take $25 off your order with SCD25 code at the shipping and billing screen. Try out PSA, see what you think. All right, so of all places, trading cards popped up on the Dave Ramsey show. The Dave Ramsey show. So if you don't know who Dave Ramsey is, basically kind of one of these finance guru guys. And let me be clear, I know that Ramsey is really popular. Even members of my own family, they're like, oh, Dave Ramsey this and Dave Ramsey that. Dave Ramsey holds no professional licenses in finance, and he never has. He does offer, I think, some good general advice, and he writes books on it. He's been doing this for a long time. He's built a following. I think for the most part, he offers really kind of the basic general advice that I think a lot of people probably need, but I would not call him any sort of an expert on a lot of these things. But he does offer, I think, a place for people that are just getting started, kind of beginners into this sort of stuff, and all sorts of different investing groups and so forth. So not a bad place to start. But I think what's great about the internet, what's great about kind of the world today, is you can hear a zillion different viewpoints. You can go on YouTube and you can listen to 10 different folks talk about different finance topics and decide for yourself. Well, Dave Ramsey had a guy on in the kind of the title of this video, which is, I was kind of like, okay, it was, how did you mess up this bad, or something to that effect. And basically this guy lost $26,000 in Pokemon trading cards, and he calls in. Dave Ramsey does these call-in shows where he advises people on what to do with their money, or kind of how to get out of it, his advice on what to do. So this guy calls in. He sounds pretty frantic. He says he's lost $26,000 in Pokemon cards. Now, a lot of this, he does mention, was building a presence on Whatnot. I think he was trying to buy followers or something. I'm not sure exactly kind of the details there. This is a fairly short call. This is like a 7-8 minute call, 10-minute call on this show. So we don't have all of the context for this thing. But essentially, he is married. He's got 3 kids. I think he said there's a 4th on the way, and his wife is leaving him, essentially. His wife is set to divorce him based on this. And kind of the co-host there was like, oh, well, you know, the Pokemon cards wasn't it. There had to be more to the story on why your wife is looking to file for divorce. And maybe that's the case. We don't know this guy's backstory. We don't know the whole picture. Another thing I was thinking too is $26,000 is a lot of money. Absolutely. But it's all relative. And that's another thing that kind of, it popped up on the like, it never really said this. I mean, this caller in could be making $1 million a year, and his wife is just like, what? You screwed up on 26,000, and then she could be angry about a million other things. And that's why she decided to file for divorce. Who knows? We don't have all the added context. And I'll say too, it's not that this guy didn't screw up. He certainly screwed up. He wasn't forthright with his wife on what he was doing. He lost the money. I think he said he's got $5,000 worth of Pokemon cards to sell to be able to pay off some of those debts. So it's a bad situation, however you slice it. The guy made a big mistake just in kind of the direction and how he was going about trying to build out this Pokemon business thing, and also spending that kind of money without disclosing to his wife and that sort of a thing. So we're not sitting here trying to say like, oh, you know what? It wasn't that bad. It was bad. It was a mistake, but it was a mistake, clearly, and he knows he made a mistake. So it doesn't sound like he was, defensive or anything like that. He sounded like a guy that was pretty desperate. Dave Ramsey, I felt like, did a pretty good job trying to steer him, and then also even said himself, hey, dude, look, 35 years ago, this is Dave Ramsey talking. He said, I filed for bankruptcy, and it was a lot more than $26,000. He's had to kind of rebuild his life from there. and had to work with his wife on that. So he does kind of offer kind of a personal story to make the guy feel a little bit better and tries to advise him, kind of tries to point him in the right direction. So I'll give Dave Ramsey some credit there for that. But then I see kind of the reactions. We even had like hobby people in here with like videos on it. And I was just like, do you understand kind of the pressures? And maybe they do, maybe they don't. But a lot of these folks aren't parents. If you're not a parent, if you've never had a kid, it's a whole different world. Once you have a child and you have somebody that is counting on you, and this guy has 3 with a 4th on the way, it sounded like, maybe he was a little desperate. Maybe he's feeling like he needed to make a move, and he took a risk. He took a bad risk. But you know what? It happens. I got divorced when I was 27. It wasn't necessarily because of financial stuff like this. Fortunately, at 27, I just hadn't accumulated a lot of assets. I didn't have a lot to lose. Frankly, I had debts. I had credit card debt I had to figure out and sort out. So it was a huge humbling experience, learning lesson. That was great for me in the long run. At the time, it was absolutely horrendous. It was going through divorce has been compared to dealing with death, with a death in the family or something. There is tremendous trauma that comes with divorce. You happen to have kids as part of it. It is, it multiplies that trauma. It's a lot for a family. It's a huge undertaking. And it's a huge decision to get divorced. The kids are affected forever. There's a lot that goes into a divorce. So when I hear about a story like this, where a guy is really down on his luck, no matter how stupid it was. Now, look, if he was scamming people, that'd be one thing. I'd be like, okay, dude, you were scamming people. That's an issue. This guy only hurt himself and unfortunately his family, but he wasn't scamming people and then, lost money. This guy just made some poor decisions, tried to kind of build out a Pokemon card business. It didn't work out the way he planned, and now his life is really going sideways. And I was thinking, man, I hope that he can kind of rebound, learn from it, and rebuild. But again, like I just hear the reactions on the internet, whether that's in the comment sections or other videos being made on it. It's just like, wow, talk about like kicking a guy while he's down, not really having full context on the situation. You're just going off of kind of a 10-minute phone call. And then also just, again, as a parent, this really hit me. And I don't think that a lot of people that make content or comment on videos, I'm not sure if they have kids. I'm not sure if they might have like a girlfriend they've had for 27 years or something that they're never going to marry. I don't know what the story is there, but I just thought as a whole reaction to this video, it was not what I thought it would be. I thought there'd be a kind of a little bit more of a rallying cry, not a, pointing your finger, look at this loser. Because frankly, look, if we're celebrating people that fall on their luck, again, if this is scammy type stuff, laugh all you want. If it's some idiot that's built people out of a bunch of money, laugh all you want at that person. Shame, fine. But this is not somebody that, as far as I know from the story, it looked like he was only hurting himself and his family. And that's not something to me to be laughed at. My honest feeling when I see that is like, that's just loser shit. If we're just laughing at people that are down on their luck, that just made a bad decision, what are we doing here? Like, that's what losers do. Again, not defending the guy, not saying that he did an amazing thing here, but hopefully we can get to a better place where maybe we're trying to lift some people up or trying to offer some, words of encourage,ment or how can we learn from it moving forward? I don't really know, but I hope that he's able to turn it around. I hope he's able to keep his family together. I hope that, that is not a huge consequence on not only his life, his wife, his family that's all involved in it. There's a bigger picture there, that I think that was missed in some of the reactions. Friends, let me know your thoughts in the comments below. I'll put a link to the Dave Ramsey video in my video description so you can kind of check it out. It's only I think it's like an 8 or 9 minute clip from his longer show. Interesting stuff. And again, you have to be really careful out here, with trading cards. There's a lot of money to be made in trading cards. There's a lot of money to be lost in trading cards, I think, like with a lot of things. And of course, we know there's a lot of people that might jump on a hype train and just don't have the means to do it. If you've got disposable income and this is just kind of extra money, and if you happen to lose it, that's one thing. But if it's, people that are missing rent, missing mortgage payments to try to make this happen, make the dream happen, that's a totally different world. So anyway, friends, hope that you have an amazing day ahead. Stay healthy, stay awesome. I'll talk to you again later.